I was just reminded, PayPal, because behind the cameras they want to get paid. Governments, when they started out, were to create a civil society. It was to provide justice, roads, schools, to help people out, to provide armies, to keep them safe. You look at what governments are doing now, and they're failing on all counts. They're failing at making public transit disastrous from coast to coast to coast. Schools, education, well, they're bringing in drag queens to read to toddlers. It's an insult to women, and has certainly nothing to do with education. It has to do with their political voices. When we're dealing with justice, we have a system now where people can commit crimes with illegal guns, and they're let out the next day. Governments are failing on all these things. But that means we can do better. No question about that. But government has run amok. So we already have the new president of the Treasury Board in Ottawa, and she's saying, I want all you ministers to come together. We're going to cut $15 billion in spending by October. And now we have news from Blacklock saying that there's an agency called the Canadian Energy Regulator. And they weren't certain whether anybody knew what they were doing. So they spent $158,000 of your money to have a survey taken to see whether Canadians know what this agency does. Well, as it turned out, no one knows what this agency is, much less what it does. So we have some bureaucrats spending $158,000 of your money to find out what everybody knows. No one knows who they are. And why should anybody care who they are? They're there to do a job, and they get publicity when they do it well or bad. But we don't have these egos in government spending your money. We have government run amok. That's not just in Canada. It's in Western democracies. We have people in bureaucracies, huge bureaucracies, paid very, very well, making really silly decisions. And so we're supposed to have people elected to overrule and to guide those bureaucracies, to make sure they don't make such silly decisions. And, as in the case in Canada, we have many ministers who agree with those silly decisions because they don't know anything what's going on. They've never been in business, they've never been out in life, they were elected MPs, and here they are. They are running the bureaucracies. So, a few lessons from this. First of all, we need a change in government. We need a fresh government, we need a fresh prime minister and people in cabinet who can tell what's going on and what people are saying. But we also need to exercise restraint and to tell that new government, and we're going to get one, to tell that new government that we want to make sure we're getting value for our money. The government is not doing too many things that it can't do. Get back to basics and do those basics well, and let people who want to live their lives, earn a living, make their families, get on with it without having the interference from too much government and from poor government. 3 minutes. Liberties and freedom of speech are under attack in Canada like never before. So let's keep this discussion on the air. PayPal, write a check, and please include your address so I can write a thank you letter to you. And ask your friends, please subscribe. It's important to keep this on the air. And thank you.